If I had the means to buy Joann, these are the 5 things I would do to make it profitable again. I think most of us know we'll find out this week the fate of Joann, including who the bidders are and whether or not Joann will still stay afloat. I like to play pretend CEO sometimes and say, this is what I would do if I was a CEO. So we're gonna do that today. I am largely unqualified to talk about this topic, seeing as I have no background whatsoever in corporate strategy or retail or anything even closely related to that, but it's the internet and we all get to have an opinion. I also need to wind this ball of yarn, so we're gonna do that together. If you saw when I was making the Year of the Snake themed baby gifts, this is the remaining yarn from that. It is the Twister Solid XL from Hobie in the color 07. Was looking for a good snaky color. I feel like I achieved that with this one. If you saw my post SoCal Fiber Fair video, you would have also seen that I received a yarn ball winder. So we're gonna put the 2 together today, and you're gonna have a little chat with pretend CEO Chloe over here of the new Joann, who is not a liquidator. Also, side note, you will notice that henceforth I will be referring to Joann by its correct name, which is Joann, not Joann's. It's Joann. There is no apostrophe S. I say that with a little bit of spice because I think because I used to work for a company that was also victim to this phantom never was there to begin with S. So I feel a little protective of it. I'm pretty sure no one at Joann actually cares, but I'm just gonna call it Joann for myself. So the first thing I would do to make Joann profitable again, that I think a lot of people would agree with me about, is going back to its roots. Joann, remember when it was primarily or only crafting? It was yarn, it was fabric, it was beads, it was paints, it was like your primary sewing items. Go back to that. I would absolutely go back to that. I think a lot of people are craving that. I would get rid of all of that sort of home essentials and seasonal decor stuff. I should probably read the instructions again. Hang on. Instructions help. Okay. Here's the reason I think they started adding all of that seasonal decor and stuff. I think it's because, no proof whatsoever, it's just my hunch, they have their who is a shopper, who is the Joann shopper. You have in the scale of crafters, you probably have your casual crafter and you have your more dedicated crafter, your hardcore crafter. I think they veered more to the hardcore crafter rather than going to the casual crafter side, which I think is more of the Target and the Hobby Lobby and the Walmart, which we'll get to in a second. But I feel like because they stuck to that side, it's a smaller target market, they probably felt like in order to increase profits, without the added foot traffic of a larger market, they need to increase each individual's basket. So I think that's why they added the decor. Totally just my hunch. I did not look at this at all or know anybody who actually said that. They should get rid of that stuff and stock more of the crafting essentials. Number 2, I think that they should improve the in-store shopping experience. I don't think I'm unique in thinking this either. I'm so sad that Joann, the in-store shopping experience has really decreased over the years. It's really declined. The stores are so devoid of employees and I feel so bad because literally I've been in the stores before where I've only seen 2 people and one person is a fabric cutter and one person is behind the cash register. And that one person who's behind the cash register is doing everything from fulfilling orders to helping people on the floor. There was also another Joann that I used to go to. It's actually not open anymore, but the crochet hooks were behind a lock and key. And I always have to get somebody to unlock it for me. That Joann is no longer around and maybe that's why, but I remember I hated going in there because I knew that I could not get anybody's attention, you know? There would always be way more customers than could be helped by the number of few workers that were in the store. So then it leads me to want to do online shopping and that just adds to I feel like that just compounds the problem. I think too, and maybe this is gonna be an unpopular opinion or a controversial one, but I think that if you don't want to hire more staff, you need to come up with another way for customers to be helped and make their checkout process faster. That's where I'm going. I'm going with, we need more efficient self-checkout options. A competitor store, which we won't name, but it rhymes with Schmeichels, has self-checkout. They have these huge tablet things that you can use to check out, and their online order pickup, so smooth. It's just a shelf. It has baskets that are alphabetical order for what your last name is, and you just pick it up. I mean, I've heard mixed things about this because people are saying that, I know like Target and Walmart and some stores are rolling back actually on their self-checkout, and I don't know, but it's something that I, as CEO, would do because, I mean, you have few people on the floor anyway. It's not like a self-checkout is going to take somebody's job. It's desperately needed. So I know it's a big capital expense though. Speaking of capital expenses, the third thing I want to say is that I think that Joann needs to be more competitive in its pricing. So here's the thing. How did we get here in the first place? We saw Joann doing extremely well during COVID, and there was this huge boom in at-home crafts. And I think we thought that those habits would stay. I think we thought that, consumer habits were changed forever. And it was only a couple of years before everybody went back to normal, actually, and worse. I feel like we even overcorrected because the data will show you that people are spending actually even less on non-essentials thanks to the big I word, inflation. Who likes working on knots? I'm actually not that bad at it, but I know that they really frustrate some people. I'm trying to not go crazy here. So, okay. I feel like that was kind of a big one we just worked through. And I think I also read something where people are spending less time and money on hobbies and more time on experiences, which kind of flies in the face of the whole people are just staying home thing. I don't know. I feel like the data says anything you want it to say, but I just feel like the prices are too high at Joann. I have actually said in a previous video that I never buy anything from Joann full price. Just as a rule of thumb, I never buy anything full price at Joann. I always look for a coupon, and I feel like that is too much of a hurdle. I don't think that a person is going to, like, when you go shopping, when you type for something online that you need a crochet hook, and you see on Joann it's like $14 versus somewhere else that's cheaper, to a buyer who is spending less money, get the coupon. But I think that's too much of a barrier. Has anyone ever used the coupon where, if you buy something online and then you pick it up and then immediately you get an email that's $5 off, $15 or something? Does anyone ever use that? Because I'm going back to number 2, like, I am never going back in that line again. Like, I am not going back in that line after I've already exited and purchased something. That does not make sense to me. If I'm going in the store, I'm picking something up that I bought online, and then I get an email afterwards, and that email has a coupon in it for $5 off 15 for the thing that you forgot when you were in the store. Now I'm supposed to walk back? I don't understand their coupon strategy. I think they need to get rid of it. I think that they need to just price things that are lower. And I know it's easy for me to say, but again, I'm the new fake CEO of Joann. So I'm gonna lower the prices and not make people have to jump through hoops and coupon codes and stuff. And I know why they do that, but I mean, is it worth going bankrupt over? No, I don't think so. I think they should lower the prices. And the person who would look for these coupons, by the way, is not gonna be that casual crafter when they have options. If they have an option to go to another store that is sometimes more convenient and it's cheaper, they're gonna go there. You need to lure them in with a lower price rather than, oh, now I gotta go find a coupon and then compare the prices after it's 40% off, but it's only 40% off something that is regular price and this is technically on sale. So, you just have to do a lot of thinking. You have to be a dedicated person to want to use that coupon versus just going into another store or buying it online and getting it cheaper to begin with. All right, number 4, we're getting into some crazy ideas here. I'm gonna take inspiration from what I've seen in stores already. Ulta inside Target, Sephora inside JCPenney and Kohl's. I don't know why I only went to beauty, or like CVS inside Target. Like they have stores within stores. I think that because Joann has put themselves in that position where they are far on the scale of this dedicated hardcore crafter, you need to meet customers where they are. In my opinion, we should move more towards the middle of that scale. I don't think that Joann should stay in that hardcore crafter persona segment. I think that they should try to attract more of that casual crafter, which I know puts them in the crosshairs of Walmart and Target, but I don't see the profitability without attracting more people based on the other items that I've said. So my point is that I think that they should do a store within a store concept, partner with another store and do the Sephora inside JCPenney thing, do the Ulta inside Target thing. It gets a little sticky because, you're going to be selling stuff that those stores already sell too, but, make it exclusive, like a Blick Arts supply store, an art supply store. And then you have the store within a store concept. So everything that you're selling in your little corner is not the same things that Blick is selling. So you can do brand exclusives that are exclusive to Joann, something like that. Wherever in your persona, they probably call her Carly the Crafter, and she does this, and that. She eats this, and that. She goes to these stores. So wherever the overlap is between who goes to Joann and where else this person shops, meet her there. Go there. Remember when like Walmart had McDonald's in it? My local Walmart had a McDonald's in it because they probably knew that people get hungry while they go shopping, and Walmart shoppers eat McDonald's. So it was a natural collaboration for them. They need to do that. Ooh, or Home Goods. Can you imagine? I bet you there is a huge crossover between Home Goods and Joann. I bet you. So I think that's your target. I think that you put a Joann inside of Home Goods. Cut a deal, you guys. Cut a deal. I can do it. I'm CEO. Just put me on the phone. Home Goods CEO, I'm calling you. I'm gonna have my people call your people. I also think, I know this is easier said than done, but you've seen this transformation. I know we're on the behind edge of adapting to the current landscape. Walmart, sorry to keep bringing up these other stores, but I'm just looking at them for inspiration and examples. Walmart, Target, Home Depot, they are no longer just stores that sell their own things. They are now e-commerce marketplaces, and they will, they drop ship. But to attract more people and to increase your SKUs without increasing your footprint, that you partner with more suppliers, and they can fulfill their own orders if they use if they use my web platform as an e-commerce marketplace. I'm also a little bit reminded of when Amazon bought fabric.com and it was an absolute cluster F. Don't do that. That's very sad. I'm very pissed at what Amazon did to fabric.com. They were not prepared. Somebody just had a lot of money and did not do any research. But prime example of when people have a lot of money and don't talk. See, I'm the opposite. I have no money and I'm talking. So, maybe we take a page, okay, out of my book. We saw Amazon, who was not prepared for doing by the yard. I think that was their downfall. I think they're very good at procuring the vendors, procuring the products, and then shipping them out, fulfilling the orders and shipping them out. They are not down with the custom orders or the custom nature of what fabric.com was offering, which was by the yard. Anyway, sidebar. What I think Joann needs to do is be a marketplace for the crafter. And that could actually, I keep forgetting I'm the new CEO. If we really want to stay in that section of the consumer where we are a little bit more hardcore, where else do they shop online? Let's connect and make partnerships and collab, and you are allowed to show your items on the site, and I get a small commission out of it. We get paid, you get a bigger audience, everybody wins. I just bought something from Missouri Star Quilt Company. I'm making a blanket, I'll also record it. But it's something like that where they offer things that are not only offered at Joann anymore. Looking at the Home Depot model, the Walmart model, where they are selling things, they are just a marketplace. And I think Joann needs to do that for the crafter. Lastly, the fifth item, I'm talking about building community. I think they already do. Listen, I've seen so often now people commenting that it would be such a huge loss for your community if you live in, say, a more rural area, that Joann is the only fabric place that you have. I live in a more urban area. I have a lot at my disposal as options, but man, I think that Joann could further with, I know this takes a little bit more discretionary profit though, like to further that community building. I think that they could maybe do something more in the area of philanthropy, because that stuff gets shared, you can do both local, hearing all the stories about people who have a Joann local and it's a part of your community. I think that could be a way to give back. I think that Joann has a good customer base currently, but I think you can further increase it by doing some local causes, local charity, because they can be so embedded in the community. And by the way, crafters and advocacy go hand in hand. I think that's a natural step or collaboration measure. It will certainly drum up a lot of attention during things like hurricanes. In LA recently had those fires, and there was such a huge outreach. I think that could be part of it too. I don't know. Anyway, I'm at the end of my rope. Just kidding. But yeah, your turn as my board of directors, everyone watching, for this new company that I am now CEO of. What do you think was good ideas or bad ideas? I am just trying to add my voice out there because there's a lot of videos on the updates about Joann and where it's all going and everything, but I am hoping that we stay. I'm hoping that a non-liquidator buyer can outbid the current stalking horse, and that Joann stays, because more competition is always better for the consumer. This is a very tactile industry, a tactile hobby where you need to see and feel the items in person. I'm just trying to manifest it that we're staying, and Joann has another 100 years at minimum. Okay, my yarn ball is all wound up. Check out my other videos of where I use this yarn, and stay tuned for my quilt. Here's a little sneak peek. Oh my God. So I am making a quilt. It's my first time that this is my first quilt. I'm making a quilt for a baby. I thought I was over the everybody having babies phase, but 3 more are coming in. So I'm making this quilt. It's my first time that I've ever made these half square triangle things. We'll see how it comes out. Here's my pile of half square triangles. Follow me for more yarn content, crafting content, if you want to see how this turns out, and wish me luck on this. And I will chat with you soon. Bye.